Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is the weekend workout where we invite you to play with your strength. If you have body weight and you have a little bit of space, you too can join us in this exercise practice for mobility, fun, and fitness.
This is how much space you need.
Whoa! That's about how much space you need. And if you have two of us, you might need to double that space. But first, let's just start with the quick head and neck movements through the rib cage, and then Lauren will take us to the floor.
Excellent.
At the head neck, at a rotation, the crown pulls tall and will rotate towards over, in this case, my right shoulder. Rotate through center and repeat to the other side. Small movements add up to be great things. Now slowly do your extension. Now that's up to the ceiling, and then pull the crown high to return the chin low, or flexing on the neck, and then reset to the middle. Now let's connect those dots in a range. So we'll rotate to the side. Let's look up, extending the neck to the ceiling, and then flexing the neck through center. Chin approaches the sternum. And then the other side. Rotate, look up that wall, out the window, towards the ceiling, and then crown high, reset the head, neck on the horizon, looking forward. Next, add our rotations. So here I go to my right side again originally. Then our chin nod or casual armpit sniff. Then to center. Pull down and up through center at the same time. If that confuses you, that's okay. Then look to the wall.
Which side are we going, Ian?
To the other side. Looking down the wall, the chin towards the clavicle. Return to center, and then straight ahead. Use that opposition. In our handstand practice, we'll be pressing down there to grow up there. Same thing with these head necks, and now into the ribs. So at the rib cage, the chin can follow if it needs to here. Rotate the ribs. As Lauren's doing, the chin or head neck is coming with that sternum center, as I'm trying to keep mine facing forward for now. That's our rotation. Let's try that gentle flexion as you bring the rib cage towards the hips. And then the extension of lifting that sternum or heart towards the ceiling. Repeat one more time in that flexion pose, and then in the extension pose, and reset to center. Now my head will come around with those rib cages as we add our rotation first. So here I go rotating towards the right, and then I'll carve out this space to the front, flexing, and then sternum down, rib cage up. Same thing other side. Add our rotation, a little side bend, and then round out the front quarters there, and pull center. Repeat the rotation, repeat that gentle side bend, and now towards the back, connecting sternum towards hips, remaining tall. And last time in our rotation, our side bend, gently over the back, and then pulling that rib cage down. From here, we'll let Lauren take us to the floor with that sizes hit series and warm up the wrists so we can play on the hands.
Excellent. With your feet underneath you in parallel, let's slowly press the knees towards over the toes and then drive down and away, extending the hips through, squeezing the butts. Let's do that again. As we do this, think about your glutes connecting to your heels because your hamstrings pulled together. Drive down and away. Last one, we'll pull, 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 and then we'll keep going and our heels might come off, sinking low. In our nice safe low, let's have our knees gently touch the floor with or without hands, extend our hips through, squeezing our glutes, untuck our toes, and sit back for a second. Let's get back up and then get back down. Squeeze your butts, extend your hips again. Tuck your toes, and then with or without your hands, we're rocking back, woo, first time, rocking back to find those heels. And then we'll press up, standing up tall. We'll repeat one more time, maybe a little smoother this second round. Knees towards over the toes. Keep sinking, allowing your heels to peel up off the floor. Gentle landing on the knees. Extend the hips through. Untuck the toes to point, and gently sit on those feet for a second. From here, we'll extend our hips and our arms, and we'll place our fingertips, callus line, and palms down on the floor. With those fingers spread out nice and wide, we'll gently shrug our shoulders up into our ears and then pull them down, engaging the lats. With the lats engaged, let's straighten those elbows, trying to bring those elbow pits forward. Let's hold that position right now. So our shoulders are down, our elbows are really trying to rotate forward, screwing them into our wrists, and our fingers are gripping the floor hard. Now let's pull those hands towards our knees so our shoulders drift towards over our fingertips, and then use your fingers to press yourself back. All the while maintaining those straight elbows. For 2 more, pull shoulders towards over fingertips and press back. Last one, screw those elbows in, slowly wrist extension, and then press back so much, flicking the floor away and shaking that out. For a handstand practice, I like to do sideways wrists just in case we go over the side. From here, palms will face each other, then fingertips face sideways, callus line, and palms. See if you can put those palms down with super straight elbows. Shoulders are packed out of your ears. Like I said, elbows are straight. From here, push your right fingers into the floor, sending yourself to the left. And then press your left fingers into the floor, sending yourself to the right. Repeat this a couple times, knowing you'll need this push and pull in our handstand as you find balance in those fingertips and palms. Last one or so each way. We'll come back through center, push the palms away from the floor, and then flick away with the fingertips, shaking that out. We'll stay on the floor and get into some nice light splits here.
Getting into the splits, we'll find ourselves on that elbow in that sideline 90-90 position. Adjust as you need. Make sure that shoulder is again stacked underneath the elbow and we're pushing the arm in the floor to activate the core. Then we can talk about that top hip. Throughout this whole drill, we're going to keep that top hip extended, meaning pushing forward. And if you squeeze that butt cheek here, pull the bottom leg into that hip socket, femur into the hip. So from here, just check out. How's that feeling? Relax that tension, and that top hip is bound to open up a little bit. Keep the chest forward, squeeze that butt cheek one more time, hip extension, and pull that bottom leg in. I'm looking forward, at the camera, but maybe if the head neck is saying that's too much, please feel free to look at that elbow on the ground. Then let's press through the floor, assembling in a modified mer person position here. So if we bend the knee just a little bit more, using this arm as an outrigger, pushing through the floor, approaching center. Could you take away that outrigger, hold yourself up nice and tall, and then no rules. Anyhow that works. Let's just switch and approach the 90 on the other side. Shoulder over top of that elbow, pushing down to support the core and spine. Then 90-90 at the knees and hips. And then let's concentrate on that top leg, extending the hip, pushing forward. And at the same time the top hip's coming forward, that bottom leg, slurp that into the femur, into the hip socket. Hold for a second. Feel free to modify the head neck. Relax that tension. The top hip's bound to open a little bit. And then one more go, hip extension with a butt squeeze. Pull in on that bottom side. Breathe. Keep extending. And then push through the floor, modifying into that mer person position again. And stacking the shoulders over top of those hips the best you can. Use that outrigger as you need. Hold your pose. Sit nice and tall. And then let's return to the original 90-90 side. No hands is an additional challenge, but there's no rules right now. Here we are. So in that 90 on the elbow, then let's straighten out the front leg. Then pushing through the arm, we can now use those two hands out at the side. We're either going to keep our foot in that dorsiflex to karate foot shape or the ballet gymnastics shape. From here, pull that front leg in, and again, it might extend that back hip forward. Then we're going to concentrate on this back leg. Casually, think lifting this leg up into a laterally placed hand on the knee. It doesn't have to necessarily move, but create tension by lifting from the hip into the hand, saying a polite good morning to that lateral bum cheek.
If it did lift, it looked like this. That's the action.
Right on. And then relax that effort. Let's repeat that one more time. Pack the shoulder, pull away from the floor from the hip, and add resistance to feel some polite energies on those lateral posterior hip muscles. 3, 2, and then relax. Bend that front leg. Let's return to that elbow and just continue to think about pressing this top hip forward. Then we'll press with hands or no hands. We'll switch to the other side and the last effort here. 90-90 position. Keep that top hip forward. Once we've established that, straighten out that front leg, ballet points or karate style, and then press through the floor to our tall posture. Again, point the foot if we can, or that other ankle shape is good as well. Hand placing on that lateral knee, and think lifting up. Do the pretend action first. I don't have as much power on this side. I can feel that already. So feel the ways to stimulate that lateral butt for stability, strength, and polite crampiness here this Saturday morning. And relax. We'll do that one more time. So with that front leg, pull in, which might again extend that back hip forward. And then with the hand placed laterally on the knee, gently start to lift. Feel the gentle cramp of that butt cheek. Not too much of this Charlie horse that it tells you, back out of there. Build endurance, build strength, and like Lauren just did, we'll relax. Return to the elbow, bend that front knee, condition that top hip to keep pulling forward. And from here, Lauren, what do you got for us?
You flip into your all fours. That's what I got.
Nice.
So from your hands, underneath your shoulders, fingers spread out wide, elbows nice and straight, shoulders packed. Let's gently right away tilt our tail to the ceiling. And then let's pull on our abs and tuck our tail under, rounding our low back like we would in a cat. Now let's slowly again tilt the tail to the ceiling, and we're going to stay in this anterior tilt as we tuck our toes, lift our knees, and slowly make our way to our first down dog. In this down dog or A-frame shape, let's keep that tailbone long as we try to press the heels towards the floor. Prioritize the tail tip over the heels touching the floor. Rebend the knees to that bear hover position. Tilt the tail again to the ceiling. Lift the hips. Slowly try to press the heels towards the floor. Take a breath. And now this time, we're going to pull ourselves through to our high plank position. High plank hold. Shoulders pulled down. Hands gripping the floor. Elbows straight. Butt squeezed. Core brace. Couldn't move you for 3, 2. Gently tilt the tail one more time to the ceiling. Pushing the hips up and back. And driving the heels towards the floor. Last time, we'll come through our plank position and hold. Butt squeeze, core brace, pull the floor together underneath you. If I lifted your feet, you'd lift right up like a board into a handstand for 3, 2, easy off, knees come down. We'll roll around a bit.
Nice. So we'll set up the hands a little bit wider in a Y shape. And from here, as Lauren said, we'll roll. Beginner progressions include taking the hand across the chest here, or advanced include turning up the palm at the side of the hip. From here, look towards the armpit, initiating with the head neck. Then rotate and flex through the spine, trying to connect the shoulder towards the ground. Let's take a breath here today. Big breath in, big breath out, and press back towards that wide Y position. Again, beginners across chest. Other versions include hand turned up, look with the head neck first, and slow rotate, shoulder towards ground, and then take a breath, and exhale, and press back. Next progressions include, Lauren, what do you got for us? We can start by turning that palm up, and then looking at the armpit, and rolling into a nice tight position at the top, or a squat. And then Lauren's gonna try to do the reverse. Awesome.
So graceful.
There you go.
See, it doesn't always go as
Nice.
planned.
So if we turn the palm up, we start looking underneath, use the arms, push through, either pulling yourself through into your tall sit, or as Lauren might show here, into her squat.
So I'm trying to make sure I'm even.
Try 1 or 2 more rotations or rolls as you got, and through. And no back roll, Lauren, that's okay.
Well, I was trying to be.
Great. I do believe front rolls are easier than back rolls, so let's start with those. But of course, we can expand our repertoire as we go forward.
All right. From here, let's get into our lunge position. Into our kneeling lunge. Right now, we have one foot in front of us, our toe tucked behind us, and our hips go hike and then pull down. We'll tuck under the tail, squeezing that back butt cheek and already lighten some fire in the front of this hip. From here, we're gonna progress though. And for 3 in a row, we're gonna press into the floor, getting to the demi point on that front foot. Oh, sorry. So the demi foot on that front foot means the heel comes up and we're on the ball of the foot and the toes. Now press the heel back into the floor. Let's do that 2 more times. Press or pull, feel that work behind the knee and hamstring, and then drive back down. And 1 more time, let's get to the ball of the foot. If we could add to this, let's point our toes and try to get to the tip toes, and then back to the ball of the foot. And then again, push into the floor, tip toes, and ball of foot. Push into the floor, you know what I was gonna say. And then back down to the ball of the foot, heel connects. From here, keeping those hips level, let's try to pull that leg underneath and repeat on the other side. Other foot comes out, that back toe tucked. We'll hike our hip, pull it down, gently tuck the tail under. Already feel that tension in the front of the hip flexor in a good way, hopefully. And then right away, we're pushing or pulling to get to that demi point, and then heel comes down. 2 more times like this. Drive down, feel that pull through the back of the legs as you shorten those muscles to get to the demi, and back down. And last one. Now let's stay on the ball of the foot and see if we can use those toes to point. And then demi. And point, yeah, you could have a light outrigger as needed, and demi. And last one, point. And then back through the demi foot, heel connects. We'll drive that leg back underneath. And from here,
We'll roll to our back. Assemble your arms on your back in a T shape, and we'll do these longitudinal rolls or through the head axis here. Nice and control. So, palms are up at the side. I'll take my left hand, move it towards my hip, then reach it to the sky, trace it with my eyes as I roll from my back to my front side, ending up with arms overhead. Take that same arm and reach it towards the hip, looking at it as you go. Then keep that arm low and return towards the T shape on your back. Same effort, other side. Look as the hand sweeps to the hip, and then casually roll, reaching from your backside, rolling to your front. And then look at the arm as it sweeps back towards that hip, towards your backside, ending up in the T shape we started with. Now, bend the knee, flexing on the hip, and then straighten the leg. The arm sweeps to the hip, same arm as same leg, and then across the body, here we go, to our front side. And now a knee bend of the same leg, a hip extend, meaning reach to the ceiling, and then slide that hand along the body, or the floor, across the body, to the original T. Same thing other side, just once. It's our knee bend, our knee extend. The weight of the leg carries us over. The arm sweeps through the hip. We end up prone or face down. The same arm reaches to the side. Oops, excuse me. It does reach to the side, but we're gonna bend the leg, kick towards the ceiling, arm comes across the body, ending up in our T. I could do series of those rolls all day, but we want to play with our stuff too. So from here, let's check out those wrists and think about the crow here.
All right.
So Lauren will set up her crow, and as you saw already maybe, the shoulders extended over the wrists, extension on the wrists. So straighten those elbows, Lauren. Place those knees on those elbows and work on your weight transfer. One of our members the other day celebrated they held this pose for 5 seconds with us. That's amazing. Keep it up. And what I asked was, how was the dismount? Was it graceful or a little bit loud? Rather than working on more time, own the way we get into that movement, and as Lauren showed, the way we get out. Hang in your squat if that's for you, and then Lauren will cue us through our crows.
Placing your hands on the floor nice and spread out wide. Bring your knees up as high as you can above the elbows near the armpits. You'll slowly tip your weight forward, stacking your shoulders over top of your wrists. If you'd like to remove one foot, you could. Try the other foot. Maybe you can find balance on just your hands. Right now, I want you to also think about how you're using your hands into the floor, pushing yourself forward and back as to not go, or to balance yourself by using your hands pushing into the floor. That'll transition into our handstand practice as well.
We go in this I go, you go method quite often. So we'll rest in our squat as Lauren goes through the crow again. Lauren's breathing. I can see the fingertips white. And again, pulling and pushing through the floor, improving your hand balances and your connection to the ground. Is she going to try to take a leg away?
No, I was trying to do straight elbows.
Straight elbows, that's so tough.
That
Working
takes it
on
to a
that
new
straight
level.
arm planche. Okay, so here we go, team us. Fingertips, callus lines, hands.
Nice straight or bent elbows, actually. As you get those knees above the elbows and think about transitioning that weight off of your feet and into your hands. Be safe. Make sure you're in a place that you can always get out of safely. And feel that weight transfer. Feel how you would use if you're going too far forward, you'd use your fingertips to press yourself back. If you're going too far back, you'd pull to get yourself back to stacked. Nice and safe dismount. And then we'll stand up to tall.
Nice.
Nice.
Shakes, wiggles, and rolls. Lauren will do this next movement. Let's just watch as I'll describe. We'll start in the down dog position, and we'll get to a place where we're pretending at first to lift those legs up, compressing. Oftentimes in our practice, Lauren will.
This is going to look better in my head than it's going to look in real life.
At the end of our practice, we lift those legs up, those core compression drills. This aims to do the same. So in your down dog shape, or Lauren's flex shape.
I'm already doing it.
Already doing it, and it might be the pretend effort here for today. A couple more if you can. Pay attention to the feet. We're tipping the weight forward onto the hands so that the legs float, and you might hop jump a centimeter or a very small measure towards those hands. But then, we'll do that next time.
Ian's turn.
Next time, okay.
So what you're trying to do here is you're trying to get your hips stacked over top of your shoulders, so eventually your feet would float off the floor. What I recommend doing, first off, get your feet as close to your hands as possible. Then try to maybe transition that weight onto your balls of feet or toe tips, so then you're pushing more weight into those. Where are you going? You're pushing more weight into those hands. Try to keep the elbows straight the whole time with those elevated shoulders, pushing the floor away. Last one or so, and then that's enough. And take a break.
That's heavy metal right there.
Nice. You should also feel that compression coming up and in as if you're pulling your hips into the socket. Nice. We'll work on a little single legs to take a break off of our wrists. Standing tall on one leg, bring a leg or an ankle off the floor close to the other ankle. From here, let's press our knee towards over our toe. Hang out for a second, then tap down with that off foot and see if you can sink a little more knee over toe. Then offload the weight. Extend the hip by straightening the knee and pressing the hip forward. Repeat again. Knee comes towards over the toe. Tap down. See if you can get a little more range out of that ankle. Offload. Press through, pushing the hip forward. One last time. Knee towards over the toe. Tap down. Try to sink a little lower. Hold. And then press through to tall. Tap your butt cheek, hold it, and then relax. And shake it out. Same thing on the other side. That low foot position to start. Knee drives over the toe for that dorsiflex ankle position. Hold, tap down. Try to sink a little lower into that hold. And then press through, extending that back hip, squeezing the cheek. Repeat again. Knee towards over the toe. Tap, sink a little lower. Hold, and then extend the hip forward to straighten. Last time. Knee towards over the toe. Tap, try to sink a little lower. Hold, and then press through that hip. Squeeze it, tap it, relax it. Nice. Shake it.
Let's try one more time on that compression drill. I was walking across the floor a little bit, and if you do lift, think about pulling in together, slurping up into that straw. Lauren has beautiful wrist extension here, meaning shoulders towards over the hands. And reset.
I hope you saw that split
Yeah,
second.
I saw it. I didn't hear it.
We should switch it to like slow-mo camera here.
Yeah. So again, tipping the weight towards over the hands. And again, we're avoiding the jump off the floor. Lauren isn't jumping here, but making sure that we can feel ourselves press down through the hands to pull the low body off the ground.
Sorry, this mic is probably catching the heaviest dragon breathing.
We do call out Lauren's dragon breath here and there, and this might be one of those occasions where it's hard work. So shake it out. A low dose goes a long way, and working on Lauren's compression drills that we might finish with again today will aim to help the endurance and strength in that movement. Shake it out.
Shake it out. We know this is a lot of work on your wrists, whether you're in your down dog, crawling around like an elephant, working on your plank, or practicing this beautiful drill that doesn't have a name yet. So pressing away from the floor, getting that compression. This will also help activities like your toes to bar. If you're hanging, trying to get to your toes to touch the bar. Push the floor away, have those pressed shoulders just like we will in our handstand, and feel that compression in the hip socket and the abs work as you try to take your feet towards off the floor.
Maybe the caterpillar, is the caterpillar an okay name through that? Just to feel that undulating wave of pulling in?
Maybe.
Maybe
One more
not.
single leg squat.
I'm down.
Okay.
Down.
Let's progress that a little bit. Before we progress that, I want to take 1 second to look at one thing. This is me straightening my knee. This is me extending my hip. I want you to think of this motion as you stand up versus this motion. It'll be stronger for your butt and it'll help your knee. All right, let's get back to this. Low hold, knee presses over toe. This time we're gonna tap and sit back into our low chair. Once you're in your low chair, offload, hold for a second, and then drive that hip through to straighten. Repeat again. Knee towards over the toe, which we need in our squats. Tap, sit back, offload, hold, and then drive the hip through to extend. One last time. Knee towards over the toe, tap, sit back, loading up glute, and then drive it through, extending, and relax. Shake it out. Whew, burn, burn.
Bends.
Same thing other side. Find that stance. Right away, knee goes towards over the toe. We tap, we sit back a little bit in those hips, we offload, hold, and then drive through, squeeze it. Repeat. Knee towards over toe. Tap, sink low, hold, drive through, extend. Last one. Knee towards over toe. Tap, sit into your chair, hold, and then press and extend and relax. Very nice.
Very nice as well. On our menu, we have handstands for time. We'll be putting 10 seconds on the clock first, and for 10 seconds, aim to fill with a handstand pursuit. That could be your down dog walking around or your elephant crawl. It could also be time spent on the wall. But for today, we're aiming to spend some time in the center. So Lauren's gonna put 10 seconds on the clock, and I'll try to fill that full 10 seconds worth of handstand efforts. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I'll be choosing that step-in option first. And if we go 3, 2, and for 10 seconds, just looking to fill with your handstand effort.
Okay, you handstand, I'll talk. If you do end up finding that balance or working through those kick-ups here, we're just trying to fill 10 seconds of time on our hands, and we really only have 3, 2, 1 left.
And then shake it out. Take your time climbing that ladder to find your handstand. Team Lauren will go in 3, 2, 1, and here Lauren's tripod kick up to find that nice straight line, and point and down. If you do find that balance upside down, hold it, own it, celebrate it, amazing. But 3, 2, 1, that's 10 to 15 seconds, aiming for about 10 for this set. I like to do that twice. So if the wrists and the body agrees, let's do it again. Crawl, elephant style. Hold a high tension plank or come on down for 10 seconds in our handstand.
In 3, 2, 10 seconds here, teamie. And remember, if you were with me, we're taking a break off those wrists. It's important, just as important to have breaks as it is to practice these kick-ups. No matter what you're doing, you have about 5 seconds left of your practice here. We have those or done, and done.
That felt like 10. That felt like 10. Shaken out. As Lauren said, rest. Listen to your body. Lauren sets up in 3, 2, and goes. Find the balance. Point those toes and breathe. Finesse the line. Increase your tension. And that's 10 seconds already. Great work, Lauren. Shaken out. We'll come back to handstands, increasing our time as we go through. And until then, just working on sissy squat progressions, as Lauren alluded to, with those knees over toes. 2 feet, knees over toes. 1 leg, straighten out, and then split the distance so we're standing between our 2 feet. From here, safely stiffen the front leg at the knee. Push it forward to encourage this leg to go back. In that low squat, now load up off the front and extend the hip through. Toe ball heel in the back leg. As it bends, this front leg stays straight. Pull ourselves towards our low squat, hands in tighter out front for extra balance, and then push through onto the front leg. Final one this time, toe ball heel in the back. Accept that floor, challenge yourself getting low, and then extend through. And this leg could carry all the way through this time. So with the other leg out front, same effort where it's a flat foot on the ground, and with control, we're aiming to sit back. We'll all have a harder or easier side, and then push through to load up. Toe ball heel in the back, push the front foot forward to assist us going back. Ooh, shoot. And then pull ourselves forward. Repeat. Toe ball heel, assist ourselves to our low position, and then load up off the back, extending the hip through, assemble together, and shake. Handstand set number 2.
Excellent. Working towards 20 seconds on the clock. So it's trying to spend 20 seconds on those hands towards that handstand position. Through a plank, through an elephant crawl, whatever you'd like. In 3, 2, here you go. 20 seconds on the clock. No matter what you're doing, you're gripping the floor with those hands. You're trying to keep the elbows straight. You're pushing the floor away. You have some core tension no matter what activity you're doing here, as well as you're breathing. 3, 2, and then dismounting that 20 seconds with control. Nice.
Nice. If you find that pose, own it. And again, coming out with control like we could do it again. Team Lauren's ready to go. So set up as you will, press through the floor, and go when you got it. Work on that weight transfer, finesse the toe line, and press down through the floor to grow tall.
Whoa.
Save it a little bit. If you are working with a partner, give them a little bit extra space. Learn how to bail with confidence. Bailing or falling over will happen, so take your time. Refine the cartwheel like we do on practices as well.
Oh, not my finest 20 seconds.
Shake it out. Should we do that one again, though?
Yes, we should.
Okay, so with, again, a little bit of rest. If you need more, go with Lauren the next time. But here we go, Team Ian. Let's do it.
Nice. Shaking it off in between. Team Ian, go ahead. Up to 20 seconds here. Practicing your kick-ups. Going up the wall. Taking a break. Having a sip of coffee. No matter what you're doing, try to keep those ribs to your hips. And press the floor away. Nice. For 5, 3, 2, and then control down.
Nice. Had the shake, had the wiggle, and repeat. Set up. Lauren loads up in those sprinter blocks, gets it just right, and points.
Well, I think those compression drills took all my strength.
There was a lot of work on those original drills, 100%. But then we got the line. She's upside down, and those rib to hip comments that Lauren was making before, saw it happen right before our very eyes here. Connect ribs, hips, keep the toes pointed, and 3, right on. Working towards our 20s. We'll come back to our handstands in a second. Until then, let's just keep working on the split stance. So it's knees over toes, single leg out front, split the distance between 2, and then pull push. Assist ourselves getting towards low, and then load up off that back leg, pushing forward. Toe ball heel in the back. Pull ourselves towards your safe low, And then extend the hip through. Is that heel on the ground? That's still really good. That's
Well, yeah, I
impressive
was
if it
trying to figure that out.
Nice. Figure it out. I love that. Toe ball heel. This is our last one on this side. Keep this leg on the ground for now. And then extend through. Assemble the feet together. Shake. Repeat on the other side. The knees over toes. Single leg out front. Split the distance. Work on the high lunge. Safely stiffen the front leg. Pull ourselves towards your safe low. And then drive off the back, extending the hip through. It's toe ball heel in the back. Pull, push. Feel that energy. Help yourself get low and extend through. And for the final one, it's toe ball heel. Assist yourself getting low. And then driving to the top. Maybe you should talk us through that one the next time you're a little bit more proficient with that. So we'll shake it out. This next set will represent the most work that we'll be doing in a set of exercises. We'll only do it once, but aiming to fill 30 seconds worth of work. So crawl, find your high tension plank, or join us in our handstand.
Ian's going. 30 seconds on the clock in 3, 2, 30 seconds here. Push the limits of those wrists a little bit, but also be safe if they're tired and done. And now. If you can continue, we're pressing that floor away. We're pointing the toes, tension through that whole body, giving partner spaces. And for another 5 or so seconds, or whenever, 3, 2, and that was your 30 seconds.
Oh,
that's okay.
Felt like a long 30 right there.
It was real.
Shake it out in between. Take your breath. Celebrate those winning moments, but also figure out what we can do the next time to finesse it. Lauren's team in 3, 2, 1. Set up. 30 seconds and point those toes. And breathe. Dragon breath or not, gotta breathe. It's those ribs to hips we're looking for. Demonstrating that very well. It's those toe points. Amazing. Some more subtle things include driving your hands down into the ground, shrugging or elevating the shoulders, and maybe Lauren can hold that for her full minute today. It looks pretty darn hard, but pretty darn awesome here too. I'm not even keeping track because we're well over our 30 here. It looks so good. Yeah. Own it to the end. Good job. Good job. Okay, save it. There we go. Nice job. Really, really well done.
These are gonna feel tomorrow.
Abs are gonna feel that tomorrow. Yep. One more time on that split stance lunge. Let's do it. Let's get knees over toes. We'll straighten out one leg out front. Split that distance. No rest for the wicked here, Lauren. So straighten out that front leg. Pull, push. Feel ourselves get nice and control low. And then extend through onto the front leg. Toe ball heel in the back. Pull, push ourselves low. Keep the chest upright. And then drive through. Very nice shape there, Lauren.
I don't have enough point in my front
Might have one more. Toe ball heel. Feel the articulation and control out the back. Pull, push. Nice and control to your safe low. And then drive through. Nice hips there, Lauren, too. Switch it out. Final set. This is it, I promise. Knees over toes. Single leg out front. Split the distance. Get used to that nice high lunge. And then for the rest of this drill, that front leg remains straight. Control. Down. Your safe low, keeping the chest up. And then load up off the back. Extending the hip through. Toe ball heel. Pulling yourself low. Nice and groovy. And then up. And as I was fighting there, only as low as we can come back up with confidence. Last rep. Toe ball heel in the back. Pull, push. Towards low. Own it. And then extend to tall. And add our wiggle. Let's return to the floor. Checking in with the splits for hips. And then carrying on with your beautiful or somewhat rainy here Saturday. So to the floor. Legs are open-ish. And if we have our lumbar shape that looks like Lauren and mine's right now, we want to sit on a yoga block or something that can encourage the spine to stay more extended. With those toes pointed, hands out front, let's address the rib cage here and casually slide from side to side. The rib cage sits level, and we're pulling and pushing through the obliques and abs here, encouraging the rib cage to move, but the core really isn't moving itself. Last one or two. Return center. Take a breath. You might slouch just a little bit, but then reconnect with high tension. From here, could the hands walk out an inch? And then leading with your sternum, push your heart or sternum towards the floor. If allowed, walk the hands out a little more. And continue to reach, pushing your sternum towards the floor, keeping your head and neck neutral, and then pull the hands towards the hips, low tension here, resetting nice and tall. Repeat one last time. Walk the hands out, encouraging the spine to stay long. And with control, we could try to close that gap between the sternum and the floor. And one day, we'll call that our pancake. Breathe. Create high tension, but learn how to control the in. And as we slowly pull ourselves, the out of that movement. Anything else, Lauren?
Of course.
Okay, here it comes, those compression drills, I know it. So we'll give up the reins to Lauren here and finish with the abs.
With those legs straight out in front of you and the pointed feet. Let's pull those hips underneath us right away so we're in that nice extended position. We will be in that more rounded shape in the upper body, engaging our lats in our hollow position. Pull the toes, straighten the knee, pull the leg first into the socket and then lift it. 3, 2, place it down. Same thing other side, pull it in and then lift it for 3, 2, and switch again. As we do this, think back to that drill we did earlier today, trying to lift both those feet, last switch, off the floor. 3, 2, we're gonna do one more. If you wanna go single legs, go single legs. If you wanna do double, lift them both for 3, 2, and tap down. One last time, lifting, holding, 3, 2, and down.
Let's finish today's practice on that elbow, revisiting that 90-90. Top hip extend, and after Lauren's killer leg exercises there, that's gonna feel interesting on the quad perhaps. So keep the hip extended. Then at the head neck, look towards the elbow on the floor. Then allow the rib cage to rotate this time, approaching the floor, and take a breath in. And on your exhale, look up to the ceiling, and then let the chest open following. At this place, we'll just take that top hip and by 1% squeeze it forward. Then look to the ground last time. The head leads, the rib cage follows. Let's take one more breath here today. That felt nice. Breath in. On your exhale, look up. Rib cage follows the head, and then press through the hand, arm towards the 90 position. No hands, no rules. Switching sides one last time. Shoulder stays over that elbow. Check that. And then keep that top hip forward. Bottom hip pulling in. Casually look at the elbow on the ground, and then with the top hip extended, add the rotation through the body next. Take a breath in. Exhale, look up. Let the rib cage follow. Top hip pushing forward. Head, neck, rotate towards the ground, looking at the elbow. Rib cage to follow next. We'll take one more breath here. In slow, and exhale, look up. Push through the elbow. Push through the hand. And then here we are in any sits position or laying position that's comfortable for you. That's our practice live on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on YouTube.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. 8 a.m. live at 8 a.m. on YouTube and with your membership at barsandbells.com/membership. Support your strength, support our practice with a membership. It's fun, you get a link letter, it's great. Highly recommend it. Don't you?
I do.
I do. We do.
We have the morning routine tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And we're back next week with a little bit of a modified schedule to take a nice long weekend. Thanks for joining us. My name's Lauren.
And I'm Ian.
And together we stay strong and take care. See you soon.
Goodbye.